Well, John, we've actually got one more surprise for you. As we were preparing for this tribute, Fred Upton, our chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, and former chairman of the committee, Joe Barton, came to me with a great idea about how we could properly honor your service. So it gives me great pleasure to announce that henceforth, the Energy and Commerce Committee Room in Rayburn shall be known as the John D. Dingell Room. Your turn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you all, my dear friends. It's a beautiful picture. It means a lot to me, and it will mean a lot to me always because of you and your generosity, your friendship, and your kindness, and the love that we share. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I know how hard you and your staff have worked on this event. Please accept my deepest and most heartfelt thanks that you would do this. You're a man of great goodness and generosity and kindness, and I'm proud to call you my friend. And all of you who have showed me such a wonderful welcome, thank you. I'm very proud of your friendship and your goodness and your kindness. I want to thank you again, Mr. Speaker, and also my good friends, Senator Reid and McConnell. Thank you, gentlemen. You have honored me greatly. And you, Madam Leader, thank you for your kindness. You have brought goodness and kindness into my life, and I thank you for it. And my very special friend, Mr. Hoyer, thank you. And to you, Eric Cantor, thank you for your kindness too. And to the esteemed members of the President's Cabinet, I'm delighted that you would be with you, particularly you, Madam Secretary, for the great work that you're doing and that we have done together on so many things. I want to say that I am probably the luckiest man in shoe leather, and I am proud mostly of the friends that I have made. That has been the most important thing in my life. I've had a wonderful wife, and I want to tell her how much I love her today and how much she means to me and why. But I was doing a little looking at some of the better books, and I found in Proverbs in the Bible a set of verses, 31:10 and following. And if you'll take a look at that, you'll see why Deborah is so important and so dear to me. And I think I will endear her a bit more to you because she said be short today. I've been blessed with a wonderful family, a father who was an inspiration to me, and a mother whose goodness was cherished by all who knew her. I'm proud that my daughter Jennifer is with me today, and my son Christopher and his wife Cindy. Thank you for being here. He's a judge back home, and he did it on his own, so I feel even better about that. And my brother Jim, thanks. And his wonderful wife Gigi, who is not with us, but who is home struggling gallantly with a terrible, terrible curse. And my baby sister, Jolay, and her friend Bob. And baby sister who has rescued Jim and I so many times when we had trouble. And her sons Kirk, Michael, Mark, and Jim. And my granddaughter Gabrielle, who is growing into beauty and wisdom and goodness. And my grandnephew Jim and his mother Dana, and all my other friends who are here today. As I have indicated, I am the most fortunate man. I was given the greatest of all honors. I was born a citizen of the greatest, freest, and grandest nation in the history of mankind, the United States of America. And I've been honored to call this country home for 86 years. Some 57 years ago, my fellow citizens elected me to serve in the Congress of the United States. That is the highest and most directly elected office in the Constitution. And I've been lucky to receive their trust 29 more times. And as I mentioned, I've been privileged to serve with the most virtuous and beautiful and wise, loyal and gentle and kind wife that's given me happiness that I could never dream would occur. Thank you, Deborah. And I want to say how much I owe to my sainted mother and my dad, who gave me a running start at this political business, which is the greatest in the world. He was a poor Polish meat salesman who was given 6 months to live in 1914 and had to battle the curse of tuberculosis, which was a death sentence. The doctor told him, "John, you have 6 months to live." Pop said, "Doc," and then I can't repeat what he said. But he indicated that he was going to survive the doc, which he did by a period of over 20 years. And the doctor became my godfather, so there was a closeness and a love there. Dad was one of the philosophers of the New Deal, who helped write and craft much of the legislation that rebuilt our nation. He fought for something of particular concern, social justice, a cause in which he believed. He was co-author of Social Security, to care for our people in the time when they need it most. And he worked to restore our economy from the worst of bad times seen here in America. And he worked for conservation and care of our land and water. And he left me an example. And he was a great teacher. And he learned how important health care was to the people. These things I learned from him and the other great mentors. I'd like to be able to claim that I'm smart enough to have done the things that I've done without the benefit of the wisdom of greater men than I. But he was one, Sam Rayburn, my dear friend John McCormick, an Irish poet who also was Speaker of the House, and my friend and mentor. They were the people, amongst others, who helped me form my thinking, learning, and my understanding. I am proud that we have been able to accomplish these things working together. Like all of you, I'm troubled about the times in which we find ourselves. We have too much ill will, too much hatred, too much bitterness, too much anger. And it is really unfortunate. I think our speaker would very much love to see to it that we are able to pull away from these things. And his kindness and his decency show that he has those feelings today. I find myself very much troubled about the fact that we in the Congress don't seem to learn one of the important lessons, and that's just the meaning of the body of which we are a part. Congress means a coming together, where people come together to work for great causes in which they all have an important interest and share. We have, I think, unfortunately, because of the pressures of the times, forgotten this. And I'm hopeful that as we move forward, it'll come to our mind again how important it is that we pull together to work for the common good, and that we come to something my dad used to teach me. Son, I can't look at one of my neighbors and say, "Pardon me, but your end of the boat is sinking." We're all in this thing together. And it is very important that we keep those things in mind, that we understand how important it is that this nation is a treasure beyond any that any group of human beings have held. It is the first time that a nation has survived as a democratic body for excess of 200 years. We're the oldest democracy in the history of mankind. And preserving something of this kind is very difficult. When Ben Franklin came out of the Constitutional Convention one day, a woman came to him and she said, "What have you given us? A democracy or a kingdom?" And he looked at the woman and he said, "We have given you a republic if you can keep it." Our struggle now is to keep this republic and to keep in mind what the word republic means. It's really two things. It is re, or the thing, and publica, or public, the thing of the public. It is our treasure. It is our sword, it is our shield, it is our protection, and it is something which we have to cherish. It is very fragile, extremely so, but less so when we are all together. There are limits on the fights that we should make. The limits should be mutual respect, love of the country, understanding of our duties, both as members of Congress and as public servants. Because we're not the masters of this nation, we are public servants, and that's the highest calling of all. I'm proud that I have been a public servant almost all of my life, in the Army, in the Park Service, and now in the Congress. And I've been able, with the working together with others of my friends and colleagues in this body, to make this nation a little better. And it is that which is really important to all of us, that we can do something to make this country better and stronger, so it will last for a long, long time, to benefit our kids and their grandkids and their great-great-grandkids. I want to say one little word about Cardinal McCarrick. Your Eminence, thank you for being with us today. You bring to mind the really great teachings of the Church about goodness and love and how we should work together. And that is a very important gift that you have given us. So I am proud that I've had the privilege of serving the people of Southeast Michigan. One of the interesting jokes that I'm able to tell is that the legislature has moved me around so many times that they can't find a place that I haven't been before. And they have great difficulty getting me into a spot where I can't survive an election. Now, this didn't happen by accident, nor did it happen recently. But it is a wonderful thing because as I travel about the district, I see wonderful people who have the same dreams that the dreams of all of us here have, or that the people that we serve have. And they share the hopes that are so important to us. So as we go about our business today, I think I speak the thoughts of everybody in this room and all of my colleagues. Without fear, without concern, without doubts, we ought to remember that we are the Congress, the coming together of the people of this nation, and that it is our duty to work together with them and for them to see to it that we keep this the greatest nation and the freest and most wonderful nation in the world. We have guidebooks, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the other great documents of our history. Those are treasures, but they are both powerful beyond belief and also very, very weak and tender. And so in guarding them, we must keep in mind that it is our duty to do it together. Having said these things, I've talked longer than I wanted. The lovely Deborah down there has a signal that she gives me. It's time for you to shut up, Dingell. And I don't know whether you'll be pleased to know it, but several times she has sent me this signal. So having said these things, I want to say, God bless you all, God bless us all, and God bless the United States of America. We have a tremendous treasure here. Let's guard it, and let's pray that it is successful for many, many centuries. God bless you all.